The plants are starting to come up, with like the first leaves and things like that. I'm going to try to harden off the carrots because they are showing some signs that maybe they're not getting enough sunlight in the pop-up greenhouse. I'm only going to use the pop-up greenhouse for seedlings and for moving in my container vegetables when the frost hits. And I looked that up, and that's about October. I'm about to today, when I come back, get my fall garden started. I got one raised bed built out there. It's not filled. I was waiting for everything to come in. I have a majority of the supplies, so now I can work on filling that raised bed and getting a second one built. I actually have 3. Now, I've invested. I've been feeling a drive to just do this. Invest. Don't worry about the money. Don't worry about any of that. It will all come back to you, and this is important. And since I've been kind of just taking the mindset of just trusting the process, I know when messages come from my spirit, and trusting those messages and trusting the process, taking that leap. They say leap and the net will appear. That's one of my favorite phrases. Taking that leap and just trusting in the process, it always works out for my benefit. I'm trusting in this process now to become a homesteader, or to become as self-sufficient as possible. And as I've started to go down this road, I'm noticing on YouTube, there are a lot of farmers that are posting messages that say to be prepared, messages that talk about food shortages, messages that talk about crops dying, the weird weather that we've been having. Man-made, maybe? Or is it just Mother Gaia preparing for the transformation that's about to occur? The weird weather that we've been having, not having enough rain for crops, not having enough crops to feed their animals. And these messages have been popping up from farmers and from homesteaders, telling us to get prepared and be ready. And this is around the time that I am feeling this urge, before I've even seen these messages, this urge to invest in these items now, learn how to grow, learn how to be as self-sufficient and sustainable as possible. Okay? So collect seeds, and I've been collecting seeds. I've been collecting seeds before I even moved here. They store really well in the fridge. Those seeds that I got from the Dollar Tree, they've actually popped up. And I've had those seeds for years. I just popped them in the freezer. Okay? So someone mentioned you want to start planning 2 to 3 years out. You can buy, if you can't grow, you can buy canned food. One of the sources that I learned from was talking about this as well. And I mentioned, what that we need to start being prepared. I mentioned that, told you the story about when I went to the beach with my friends around the time when all this was happening and these kind of stay indoors measures were being implemented, and then how the energy in the universe was just different. And I just said, you know what, this is not a time to pretend like things are normal, because they are saying new normal. And I said, let me just lay here in the middle in this ocean and receive the messages that the universe is trying to tell me, because I could feel in that energy that the universe was trying to speak to me. And one of the messages that I've received was famine. And this is before I knew any of this. And now look, you have farmers telling you to prepare 2 to 3 years out. You have farmers who are at the hardest points in their lives right now because they can't get their crop to grow. The heat, the drought. They're having problems growing their crop. And it's not going to get better. If you understand the progression of Mother Gaia and what the earth has to do in order to reach ascension, you will understand that those 2 components are actually necessary. Be prepared. So, I'm doing what it takes now to learn. I've just been spending my time watching a lot of YouTube videos. There's a lot of homesteaders on YouTube or people who just like to grow stuff. People already living this life. I've invested over $1,000 in this. And I didn't know that it was going to be that expensive. And watching videos, I see where people talk about how first-time growers are sticker shock. They suffer from sticker shock. Surely I did. If you're doing a raised garden bed, you have to figure out how are you going to fill it? Because it's not cheap to just buy. If you just buy the potting soil, you're going to end up buying hundreds and hundreds of dollars in potting soil to just fill one bed, depending on the size of raised bed you have. So depending on the height and the size, there's different measures that you can use to fill the bed. I'm learning about creating my own soil mix rather than just buying a pre-made potting soil mix, because creating your own soil mix is actually cheaper. And that will be beneficial to know for the future for when you can't just go and buy the potting soil. Obviously, there's just some things you want to stock up on, but maybe learn how to make a natural fertilizer. Learn how to make something that's going to keep the soil aerated as cocoa fir or peat moss would. Like what else, what natural things can you add into the soil? Learn how to make your own mulch, what can be organic matter to aerate the soil, to feed the soil, and also the other a compost as well to mix in, and also a mulch to put on top. Keep the soil moist and keep the soil protected. I'm learning how to do all those things. So back there I have many piles of mulch, and I think I showed you guys, and I actually need to mow. I don't mow every week like other people do. I've spread my mowing out, so I actually need to mow, and then I'll get another pile of mulch started. I'll probably do it on the other side of the shed because it feels like I'm kind of running out of room. So I've moved some things out of the shed, and I want to keep pulling things out of there and use it as like a gardening shed. And I actually have some things coming today so that I can get started on my spiritual space downstairs, because that is also important and integral. I have some ideas for that I will show you and talk about later. But yes, I've invested over $1,000 in this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a chart and just write down all my investments, all my plants. I'll make an Excel chart, and then watch to see how long it takes to get a return on my investments. How I'm going to do that is seeing what the cost of a beet is over here, seeing what the cost of a tomato is, or whatever I have growing out there, how many I yield, and then do the math, the difference, or the profit, the net profit. It might take me maybe 2 years. I am just calculating in my head that it'll probably take maybe 2 years. Also, the first profit for me really will be when I can reuse my soil. Now, you do have to amend the soil, but you won't need as many items as you did when you first purchased. And you can even amend the soil without buying a new potting soil mix, to be quite frank, just using mulch and organic matter. So for me, the first return on my investment will be when I get to reuse the soil, because that right there is going to be saving me hundreds of dollars. So I've also went ahead and I made a rhubarb ginger jam. I don't remember if I showed you that or not, but I still actually have in the fridge. And I made some for me and for my neighbors to say thank you for the help. I also gave my neighbors like a plate of barbecue. But the canning process using a regular pot was not good, especially with the taller jars. So then I looked and did some research on canning, and I bought a hot water bath pot and a pressure canner. The hot water bath pot you can use for citrusy items, high acidic, like tomatoes or fruit. You cannot use that for vegetables. If you want to can vegetables, you have to actually get a pressure canner. So I bought those two items. You can find them on Amazon. The really like pristine pressure canner is like $400. I bought one that is a good, trusted, tried and true, and it will work for my electric stove. So you want to keep that in mind as well. It's was under $200. I'll talk more about that as I learn about canning more. And I also brought a couple of books on canning. So you want to, also invest in books so you can learn and understand. I will probably get some gardening books as well. I do have some homesteading books, and I'm sure there are gardening tips in there. But right now for the gardening, I'm using online resources. So I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. This is just kind of like this little update chat I'm doing, and I'll probably just keep this vlog going. Not sure how long, but the camping trip is happening in 2 months, the very, very beginning of September. I have 2 places I'm traveling to this summer. Next weekend, I am going to be meeting up with Soul Quest members. Soul Quest is where I went to do the ayahuasca ceremonies. And I'm going to be meeting up with them, and we're going to be doing some plant medicines. And then in August, I'm going to be taking a trip to Arizona to meet with shamans there and do some work there that I'll talk about more later. So when my friend was here, we actually did plant medicines ourselves, and a lot of awakenings and messages and evolution went on and happened for me personally, and an understanding of what it is that I need to do to like reach the next stage. And a lot of it has to do with controlling emotions, and why that is so important and integral part of disconnecting from the 3D and reaching a state of transcendence. And a lot of people that we have placed in our lives are there to trigger us in those ways, so that we can use those moments as teachable moments, so that we can practice basically everything that we're learning on this spiritual journey, and learning how to basically be like Buddha. Detach yourself from the emotions, and every time you do that, take yourself out of the 3D plane. Because when you go higher than 3D, you're on frequencies where there are no fears, there are no worries. Do you understand? So every time you bring yourself back into those emotions, you bring yourself back into the 3D plane. So these were messages that I received, and it was confirmed in other ways. Amazing, amazing experience. And that's why, and I want to begin making some videos also on plant medicines and things like that, because for me, taking plant medicines is not as easy as other people. And I feel like that is a part of my purpose, and a part of my reason for being here on Mother Gaia is to teach people about herbs, plant medicines, and also people who might have certain disabilities that want to take plant medicines, or certain physical limitations that want to take plant medicines, or that how to do that and do it safely. I do have an allergy to certain plant medicines, but I take them anyway. And those are things that, I'm kind of experimenting with myself and my body, and eventually would want to come here and share that information with you. My cats are going crazy back there. So anyways, I just wanted to make this little update while I have all the information up here in my head at 5 in the morning. And I'm gonna just finish up these dishes. I need to make some cat food, and I'll probably have to head out in about an hour to go finalize a license that I am getting. Yeah, so I will talk to you guys soon. Peace. Okay, so yesterday I had to make a decision on whether or not to water these. The carrots haven't been doing so well, but I did let it kind of dry out, and then I just decided to water it. I don't think that the roots would be reaching that deep at this point, so I do think that they needed water, so I gave them some, and it looks like I made the right decision. You can see there are some spots there. I just downloaded this app so I can see, like, diagnose it. I thought that was like, I was like, that's a weird carrot. Then I realized that's a tomato. Somehow a tomato seed got into with the carrots, so I'll have to thin that out. And these are the beets. So at this point they would recommend thinning them. I really don't even know what I would be pulling at this point. Maybe that one there. These are two separate ones. It looks like these are two separate ones, but there's some people that say don't thin them because they're a cluster, so they grow and the seeds come with more than one plant inside. There's someone else I was watching said leave them. That they just see nature through her eyes and they like growing in clusters. So for now, I guess we'll see how that goes, and I'll just do a little more research as I go along. I think if this wound up being like 2 here and then 2 here and then 2 there, 2 there, they look like about 2 that they could find enough room to maybe spread out. We'll see, because also when you thin, you do just disturb the root. Like these are very close together, so but I could just see maybe like it'll spread out that way, or I might have to just thin it. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer and watch some more videos because I'm hesitant to thin it. Okay, so yeah, so that's the carrots and the tomatoes, and I'm gonna try today putting them outside. This is the greens. As you can see, they do have some spots on the leaves. That might have been due to overwatering, not sure, but I did make the decision. I left this one and I didn't give it any water. I'm not just trying to do like general watering. I'm trying to just like look at what the plant needs. Okay, this is the echinacea. You can see a beetle got in about 3 of these, so they kind of, some of them are bitten. Okay, like that one there, that one was bitten. That's basil, echinacea. That one, the beetle was living in there, ate all of it. So we do have some ones surviving. And these are cherry tomatoes. These are the seeds that I was talking about. Like, they came from the Dollar Tree years ago and they still sprouted. I just kept them in the freezer. This one was wilting yesterday, so I gave it some water. Sometimes that's all you need to revive. These, when they're like these little seedlings, they just need to stay moist. Okay, when the top starts to dry out, and it's also a little pod, so it goes dry quickly. Green red peppers did not come up. I might try retry those again. And that's some more echinacea back there making its way, and this is basil. And then scallions. I don't know why they're so thin, but they're looking pretty pitiful. And that's some more. We'll see how those do. I don't know. The peppermint did not come up. Probably seeds too small, got lost in there most likely. And I think this is the rosemary trying to make its way forward. Only one of the those aren't pushed in yet. These are. And it's zip tied in the middle. So I'm hammering in these land staples, basically, which are like little stakes. This will prevent the golfer if it does burrow underneath, I'm gonna be able to like lift it up easily, and the plant beds go on top so that they can't get through the plant beds. Ideally, you would want a mallet, but I just wrapped what I have in something soft, and I'm using it to bang it in. So, only several more to go. Okay, so I'm going to put more than one layer, and any cracks like this will require another piece of cardboard because weeds will eventually begin to grow up and they can poke through that, and then you'll have weeds in your vegetable crop. So I'm going to keep layering. Okay, we're losing sunlight, but this is what I got done. The white is pea gravel. I bought 2 boxes, but I'm going to need probably 4 more to get the thickness that I want to, this is dust on my hands, but to get the thickness that I want, this is basically acting as a mulch of sorts. An organic mulch is the proper term, and this is going to keep down the growth of weeds because I don't want weeds anywhere popping up near the plant. The cardboard will help that. I was planning to just put it all around, but it pops through the net. Doesn't really work well under the net, as you can see. So I'm actually going to just use some pine straw and go around that, and then just keep this on the outside. Okay, I lost all daylight now, but you cannot see, and I really don't know what this is looking like, but I put the pine saw around it. So we'll see what it looks like in the morning. Morning, guys. I got up at 4:30. I call it my Condoleezza Rice schedule. Basically got up at 4:30, and that's typically the time I would be studying. It's a weekend, so I'm getting chores done, and then I can come back and study later. Making me some coffee. I gotta go back out in the garden and finish up what I started yesterday and get those seeds in the ground. I spent so much time in the garden. I want to spend some time indoors today, but I'm picking the seeds. So I've got this radish here, and I'm going to go get the other ones out of the freezer. I actually got some delivered, but they're in the box. I have to find the box. I want the peas out of that box. Okay, these are the rest of the carrot seeds. I'll use that one previously opened. Those are the Nanettes. They're a smaller carrot variety, good for container planting. And then this is the rest of the French bean seed. Feels like I only have about 4 in here. No, there's a couple more. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6. So I want to get some more of those. And then this is the rest of the beets. Doing the fall garden. I actually bought a fall garden seed packet. And I went and bought some rhubarb because it's so freaking delicious. I want to have rhubarb all the time. This is the Victoria brand. I have, you know, let's see how that rhubarb plant does in the winter. I may relocate it, but once you do that, it's gonna take about 2 years for you to be able to pick off of it again. But definitely gonna when I'm ready to put my fence up, I'll time it so that I can relocate it prior to the fence. Oh, okay. Just realized that I left the piece that I picked yesterday out. It's probably no good now. Just looking through the herbs I have here. I'll probably try this mint today because my peppermint didn't do well. Now I have some sand, so I can do it properly with some sand. That's how you get those seeds in there because they're so small. This is the herb medicine and tea herb seed packet that I purchased. Okay, so we have radish, we have beets, we have the French bean. Definitely gonna need some more of that. Carrot. I have other seeds in here that I've stored for years. Survival garden seeds. And then these from the Dollar Tree. When you're desperate, you're desperate. 45 days to harvest. I don't want to do cucumbers. I don't really even eat cucumbers. I did get beet seeds from the Dollar Tree. Some more bunching onions. I'm going to try to do this some more because I don't like the way mine is growing over there. I think I'm in zone 5. Just reading with the back. I don't know if I could do the onion right now. No idea. It even has pumpkin. Okay. Just stick with the ones that I'm doing, that I said I would do. And then I also had this, like, to make seeds to make tea. Basically growing things that you could make teas with, herbal teas. I don't want to keep this out the freezer for too long, but I really did enjoy this pack, and everything I think that I planted from here is sprouted. Eggplant, zucchini, I don't know what garden rocket is, artichoke, spinach. I'm gonna try broccoli. That's the fall garden, and it can take a frost, I believe. There's also radish seeds in here. And I think I'm gonna try the rhubarb chard. Let's see how much space I have out there. Oh, they do have peas. Is that what I want? I don't know what kind of pea this is though. Early onwood. I am not germinating these this time. Actually, I can. I could germinate them for a little bit. Got celery, Brussels sprouts, peppers, cucumber, onion. Okay. I'm gonna get another one of these because I don't know, I love it. And I love the artwork. It's so vintage. I love it. And then I got some more survival garden seeds. I'm not touching those. These are like, you know, the ones I'm storing. And as you get good at this, and you bring your plants to flower, you'll be able to collect and make your own seeds. Time is flying. I really need to get outside. So it's like from 4 to 7 already, and all I've done It's like, okay. Anyway, so I just found the fall. It came like that. And I'll just show you, just so you can have an idea of what you can plant in a fall garden. This is the fall garden seed packet. It came with cabbage, kale, romaine, broccoli, radishes, carrots, beets, and peas. This is the kind of pea I want, Snap Sugar Daddy. I don't know anything about an early onward pea. I have no idea. I think we're gonna start with the Snap Sugar Daddy pea. All right, now let's get to it. Okay, I'm gonna skip the germination process with the food grade hydrogen peroxide and just go straight to planting them. Because of time constraints, and also last time I got a whole bunch of little cups to put it in, and I don't have any cups. See, I got bit by a mosquito bite on my face. It's real out here. And I have them all over my body, and I've been doing treatment with all kinds of things. But anyways, I'm allergic. I seem to be allergic to the ones out here because they boil and then the boils break. So anyways, as I was saying, ideally you want to have like kind of like a container you would put pills in, or you can use like an ice cube tray and then kind of label the seeds and do it like that. Last time I just used a bunch of cups. I don't have that, so I'm not going to do that. But you can still use the peroxide in the garden once the plants start growing to help give it oxygen and oxygenate the soil. So yeah, let's get out there and see what it's looking like. First, let me pour that cup of coffee, man. I'll show you what I'm gonna put it in. Isn't this cute? Shrooms. Oh my, I must say this is pretty. I need to do it. I was doing it in the dark basically. But damn, look at those freaking bugs. You can't see them on the camera. It needs more work. I need some more stones. The mulch, use this mulch I have and start mixing it into the soil to bulk it up. Moral of the story is, do not throw away your glass clippings. This will be compacted down, but this is a pretty good start of free filler for these raised beds. Okay, so this is about 6.5 bags in there. I'm gonna need probably 2 more bags because you want to fill it up so that it overfills, because your soil will compress down at least 1 to 2 inches when you start to water it. So this is fine. I'm just going with the flow. I'm not gonna overthink it. It'll actually give me time to see if there's any weeds in here that might pop up. So I'm gonna wet it down and let it sit for like 2 weeks, and we'll see if there's any weeds in here that may pop up in the meantime from the mulch that's underneath it, and then I can eradicate those. And then we'll order the soil. So now we know to fill up these 12 footers. This is about 5 feet long and 3 feet across. If you buy in a pot of soil mix, it's going to take about nearly 8 bags, and it ain't cheap. About $120 for 4 of them. And so the only way that you could probably maybe get around that a little bit more is by adding some more organic matter. I did have straw. I don't know where the hell it went, but adding some more organic matter. But at the same time, you don't want too much organic matter because you don't want to mess up the pH balance of the soil with like nitrogen versus like carbon and things like that. So the great thing about this though is that you can reuse it, just amend it. And I'll talk about that in another video. Because I'm going to start some more videos on just doing this. But amending it basically because your plants are going to pull the nutrients out of the soil. So I'll get, why does it look like this on this side? It's all right. It's just bulking out a little bit at the end. If anything, I could put a screw in there. I'll get, your plants are going to pull the nutrients out. Right now it's filled up, packed with nutrients. It's a brand new potting soil mix. But you will get like some bang on your buck when you reuse it. I'm not going to have to buy 8 bags of soil again. I do plan on putting some more here. So eventually, and I'm going to get the tall ones. I'm going to get the 2-footers. This is a 1-footer. So that one, you can put a lot of like, see I have over there, a lot of like, branches and stuff at the bottom that will compost down and also help with drainage and things like that. But I will have to reuse it. I'll just take, dig some of it out, not all of it, but dig some of it out because you don't want to mess up the ecological structure in there too much. You'll have worms and things like that going up and through, and bugs and stuff like that, helping the plant life. So you dig some of it out and then you amend it. You add like organic plant matter and things like that, and that will put nutrients back in the soil. Maybe a little bit of fertilizer if you want, but you won't have to purchase a huge massive amount. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into composting. Funny enough, I was researching all this when I lived in the apartment, and I wanted to start composting, but then I like did all this research, and then I found out that you needed like a compost bin and like worms, and then I was just like, oh well, that's not gonna work. Yeah, there are other ways to do it. I just found I'm gonna buy these compost bin that I saw. It's just more expensive, but in the end it'll be worth it when I have these skills and I'm prepared and I'm ready for what's to come. So that's how I'm going to choose to look at it. And when I start composting, then that's when this vermiculite, perlite, cocoa fur that I have in the back will come into play, because I was going to mix it to make more soil, but then I realized just by looking at it, it already has either peat moss or cocoa fur. It already has vermiculite. That's all the white that you see. So mixing this would have threw off the balance, so I didn't do that. What you have to mix this with is like topsoil, like natural native soil, maybe that you pull up from the earth, or you mix it with your compost that you make. So yes, so we'll save these for the future. And I'm gonna just try to, when you go online to buy something for yourself, try to grab one of these items. I'm gonna call them prepper items, or homestead items. Try to grab one and just throw it in your car and build as you go along. Remember, you want to be prepared at least 2 years out. Yeah, so I'm going to water that down and then just let it sit until my next packages arrive, when I can finish it off. And I think I'm going to add a screw over there at the end, because it's really annoying me a little bit that it's bulging out like that. So yeah, anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. Hey guys, I came inside and I just did some tidying up in the kitchen. About to put the trash outside, and I put away a lot of the boxes downstairs, all the packages that came in, and I wanted to show you guys this one before I bring it downstairs. This is my new things that I got to kind of dress up the basement and make it my spiritual area. I was originally going to make that kind of like an extra kind of family room with like Victorian vibe, and I still might add the fireplace on the wall, and I'll change the boarding on the wall eventually. And I have some other ideas that I'll still probably put a little, maybe like, it was going to be a bar area, but I could change that so that it's, instead of a bar area, it's like the bottles that are there are like herbs and potions and things like that. And so I'm just doing what I'm being instructed to do. It's just to turn it into a kind of like, I can still have Victorian vibe, shabby chic, bohemian, spiritual place, kind of hangout, spiritual lounge. So I bought a few items just to kind of get myself started there. It is where my altars will be set up. So, and then when I get the little hut, I might get like a sun hut instead of a shed, but we'll see, because the sun hut looks more like livable. But anyways, she shed, whatever the hell you want to call it, get one of those for the backyard. In the end, I'll probably just do what's most cost efficient and will still work, but we'll see how that goes. So I got this book in, starting a new altar space and learning about Kali, because I've had some revelations about her recently with plant medicines. And so I got this one, The 4 Aspects of Mother Kali. Who's also connected to Hecate. Okay. And then I'd have to open these, so let me just flip you guys around. Okay, so these are goddesses that I'm learning more about and connected to. And they've shown me that. I didn't just say, hey, you goddess. They came to me. So I got this, the moon. This is Hecate. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but they put her, I guess, on the moon tarot card. It's like a tarot card depiction. I don't know whose tarot card that is, but and it has Hecate, and you can tell by what she's carrying, the 3 virgins and the hellhounds at the side. So I just realized it said the moon on there and not Hecate, but that's okay. I know who it is. Yeah, she has the knife, the hellhounds. It's nice. The material is very nice, actually. It's soft, like kind of satiny almost. That'll go nice with her statue that I have. Okay, what else? These are all going to be up on the wall. It'll be nice because it'll cover up some of like the boarding that's down there from like the 1970s. Which I don't mind, but it makes it dark. Okay, thought I was missing one. Okay, so this is one, it'll just speak for itself. Let me put them back in the plastic. Keep them nice until I'm ready to use it. This one, these are black light tapestries, so you put black light over or behind or in front, whatever, and they light up nicely. So I actually got the black light. Just these minor adjustments will change up the whole atmosphere down there, which I need to do. I gotta show you the creepy things that was drawn. There's a cellar down there. The creepy mural that was drawn on the cellar door with chalk. When my friend came over to visit, I was trying to figure out what certain things were on there. I only saw a cross, but then we figured it out, and my is it creepy. Okay. So yeah. This is, what is this? Oh, okay. So this is symbolic of just plant medicines and the journeys I've been going on and things like that. Hold on. It doesn't have all the plant medicines on it, but it's pretty freaking cool. You're not gonna really be able to see this at all, but this is one of the black light ones. So it's like a huge mushroom town, basically. Yeah, you're gonna have to see this when I put it up. I can't. I don't even. It doesn't even make sense to open the other one. But what I will show you, the other black light one, because they're huge, and I got them really, really large so that they would cover up the wall. So. The other one kind of like has all the chakras on it, and it's like a person in meditative pose, but it's like very colorful and showing like chakra alignment, and matches with the Mercury color here. Okay, this one you might be able to see because it's smaller, but this is also for Kali Ma. It's taped really well. I'm going to be careful not to cut the cloth. Came in this weird package. Okay. You can tell this one is cotton. It's not satiny like the other ones. Just, as long as the image is good. Someone said they put them up with Velcro. I gotta see about that, how I'm gonna get these up there. Whew, it has that feeling that I hate, like the cotton bandana. Ugh, so dry. But so beautiful. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but yes, absolutely gorgeous. Let me look at it myself because I haven't even seen it. Wow. Woo! Ooh, I love it. Love, love, love it. You gotta take care of this one. Make sure it doesn't fade. It's so deep. Like, probably try not to wash this because it probably will lose its color if you wash it. So you probably have to care for this, I would just vacuum it. Wow. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And because I'm so OCD, I probably would get it back up. But vacuuming should do well. Okay, and then I already have a Hecate statue, but I got here her in her primordial, most primordial form as Kali Ma. And here you go. Do you notice they wield some of the same tools? Yes. Beautiful, beautiful statue. Okay, gorgeous. Yay. I'm so excited. Not only if I can get the basement together so I can set up these altars. I have to see what to do about establishing like a privacy perimeter for if someone goes into the basement to get into the garage, like how I can shield that section. I might be able to just put up like those kind of hanging curtains down there. excited to get that up there. I'll probably put a little bookshelf down there for reading. Gotta sneeze. Woo. So yeah, that's the little haul. So now I'm going to get started on making some cat food. Tomorrow I got to take my kitty to the vet early in the morning, and I got to work remote online. So I'm going to stop it here, and I will be, the next thing I'll be doing actually, this week coming, this Thursday, I'm going to be taking off and going to Georgia to meet up with the group members from Soul Class and partake in plant medicine. So I may vlog some of that. I need to invest in the camera because I don't like holding this phone so much with 5G energy, which is usually why I don't use it as much as I would like to. Because I just the thought of picking it, holding it, keeping it in my hand, and knowing that there's radiation going on there. So I need to invest in a camera. But yeah, so hopefully I'll get some of that on video, and I'll see you guys soon.